Okay, welcome everybody to another Friday Footfalls. It's going to be another slightly different one today. Just going to be going over the last weekend that I spent in Ghent playing some Magic at the regional championships with good old Rhinos. So yeah, just go over that and how that went and what changes we might think about going forward. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well and hope you enjoy this style of video, more like almost like a podcast, I suppose, just me chatting away about rhinos. So do let me know what you think of this sort of thing, and yeah, I'll get back to probably playing some more rhinos next week. So yep, went off to Ghent, Belgium for the European Regional Championships. I was not qualified, so I was playing in the last chance qualifier on the Friday, hoping to earn a last minute spot for the Regional Championships on Saturday. We drove over from the UK over through the Channel Tunnel, which was really good. Recommend that route if people are going that way from the UK. And just a quick word on Ghent, super nice. Really had a really good time exploring the city. So if anyone gets the chance to go, lots of Belgian beer, Belgian chocolate for me, which was really good. And yeah, great time hanging out there with everyone. So yeah, if anyone wants any more travel recommendations for Ghent, do hit me up. Venue itself was really good. It was at the Expo Centre, Flanders Expo Centre, just outside Ghent. Quite difficult to find, but yeah, huge venue. The kind of thing you'd expect for these Magic tournaments. There were 5 vendors, I think, buying and selling cards. There was a big prize wall and loads of side events going on, as well as obviously the main event of each day. Places to get food and drink. So yeah, really good. So in terms of actual Magic, managed to secure a place at the regional championships. So the top 16 from the last chance qualifier went through. I ended up finishing 17th out of 388, which was obviously going to be really crushing. But fortunately, anyone that has already qualified in the top 16, the invites cascade down. Turned out 3 people had qualified in the top 16, so actually they went down to the next 3. So me in 17th place made it with a record of 7-2. Yeah, we played 9 rounds, and this was the list I took. So yeah, 9 rounds on the Friday LCQ. The meta for the LCQ and for the regional championship itself was, you can go and find it on Melee. But it was very Rhinos heavy. We were the most popular deck of the weekend. Other key contenders were Amulet, Yawgmoth, Murktide, and Rakdos Scam. So, and then a sprinkling of other ones as well. Hammer Time was quite popular. Zoo was quite popular. So yeah, Rhinos is definitely on people's radar, is something I'd say. So I played against, what did I play against? I played against Yawgmoth 3 times. So we'll just have a quick chat about some of the matchups. Yeah, played against Yawgmoth 3 times and beat that matchup every time. I think we're pretty good into the Yawgmoth matchup. I had 2 Brotherhoods end in for the match. I could see going down to 1, having chatted with another Rhinos player over the weekend. I could see going down to 1 Brotherhood's end. I think we're probably favoured there anyway, so maybe dedicating that slot to something else. But given that Hammer and Scales were quite popular at the tournament as well, I'm definitely not averse to having an extra copy of that in the sideboard for those matchups, which can be a bit difficult. Also, yeah, did play against Hardened Scales. Got a bit lucky with one of those. Opponent, I was kind of ahead, and then the opponent managed to make a 9/9 Walking Ballista. They went to trade with my 2 Rhinos, I'd cast Violent Outburst, and they forgot that Violent Outburst made the Rhinos 5/4s, so they traded. So got a bit fortunate there. Didn't play against Scam or Amulet, weirdly. Played against my 2 losses. One was against Murktide, where I went to a close game 3, but they just had the pressure kind of Ragavan, holding up counterspells, and then just couldn't quite get through. Didn't see my endurances in time to stop them then casting a huge Murktide and protecting it. And my other loss was a mirror. I played the mirror twice, so it's really dependent on how you draw, what your opening hand is. Notably, last chance qualifiers were closed deck lists, so you don't know what your opponent's on. So yeah, the mirror is always pretty miserable. I'd really like a card that's really, really good in the mirror, but I just don't know what that is. If anyone has any suggestions, please do let me know. But I think, yeah, I think I'll get onto some changes that I might make later, but I think might want to slightly skew towards the mirror if Rhinos is going to be super popular going forward. So yeah, I played 3 Yawgmoth, 1 Scales player. I played it. Yeah, 2 mirrors. I beat the other one in the final round actually, which was really good. Beat Control. So Control is a difficult matchup, but some of the best cards for us are things like Flame Veneer, drawing 2 in their end step, icing down. You want to be careful to ice their land so they can't Supreme Verdict. Play around Supreme Verdict, so you kind of make some Rhinos, force them to Verdict, and then you only make more after that. So yeah, that was really good. Didn't play against any Tron. Yeah, and and then the other round I played was against Coffers, which was actually quite an easy win. The opponent didn't really do anything for a lot of the game. I think they can be quite clunky against us. Their Field of Ruin plan doesn't disrupt us too much with the 4 basics that we run. So I think we are favoured in that matchup. So yeah, managed to qualify and went into Saturday's regional championship, where sadly the wheels all the way fell off. Crashed out in the 5th round, having taken my 4th loss. So dropped at 1-4 because 6-3 makes day 2. So just dropped to go and do some trading and just chill out really. I think a big thing was I maybe misplayed a little bit. I was a bit tired. I didn't sleep very well on the Friday night, just for I think all the excitement. But I think I made a few silly mistakes. Maybe got a little bit unlucky. I played the mirror. I played Yawgmoth, Coffers, Control. I beat Control, so kind of beat the bad matchup and lost the mirror and 2 pretty good matchups. So another interaction that came up. So against Control, I'll just give a brief sort of game plan against Control. You don't see it much, but people are trying to fight Rhinos with blue-white X control decks. So my point number 1 would be watch out for what lands the opponent has. I was carefully playing around an instant speed Verdict. The opponent had plus Teferi, so they could play at instant speed. I killed Teferi and then looked at their lands and saw, oh, they don't have enough white sources, so I'll Violent Outburst now. And then if they Verdict the next turn, I can then Cascade again and kind of gain that tempo. Cascaded, and then the opponent went to their my end step and said, okay, cast Supreme Verdict. Just about to call a judge when I noticed that the Hallowed Fountain, or what I thought was the Hallowed Fountain in their lands, was a Mystic Gate, so it could make double white, and got absolutely blown out. So just the lesson there is to really pay attention to what lands they've got. The second point is with just around Fire Ice, and I think I said earlier about icing certain lands around Supreme Verdict. It's one of your best cards in the matchup. Icing them off Counterspell or Dovin's Veto, keeping them off Supreme Verdict for a turn so you can push more damage. Both really good. Flame Veneer, again, drawing 2 cards in their draw steps in their end step if you haven't got anything else to do, is really, really good. And yeah, notably, I cut Murktide Regents, but I'm not sure cutting all of those is correct. They do have Teferi and Solitude, so it's definitely worth getting rid of 1, but they do cut the bindings after sideboard, so it could be worth keeping 1 in. A couple of times I kind of got stuck on on lands. So I had a couple of times this tournament where I had two island and the triome out, and then couldn't cast a violent outburst, which was a little bit awkward. So I don't know if that's just bad luck or if we should be thinking about changing up the mana base. Had a couple of times where I didn't find my third land in time as well, so I don't know if that's just the hands we're keeping, but I felt like I think I had things like Fire Ice or whatever to try and find it. We do have a load of Lorien reveals as well, so yeah, I think that's fine. But I don't know, talk about what we're going to do soon, but yeah, just a few. I guess I'll just move on to just a couple of interesting plays. So one of them was my Yawgmoth opponent in the last chance of qualifier. One of the games, I cast Violent Outburst in their end step. They went to so there's a couple of things here. So one is, always remember that they can Chord of Calling for Soulless Jailer. So this came up twice. I'll go through them both quickly now. So one of them, I cast Violent Outburst. They said sure. I revealed and put Crashing Footfalls onto the stack. My opponent then they said Chord for 2, and I said sure, but Crashing Footfalls has been cast, and then a long judge call proceeded, in which it was ruled that my opponent had missed their opportunity. If they wanted to Chord for Soulless Jailer, they should do it in response to the Violent Outburst trigger, because I've already cast Crashing Footfalls from exile, so it wouldn't do anything in that point. So that was one. So that one worked in my favor, but the next day I forgot. In my haste I killed a Mana Dork, so a Delighted Halfling, in response to a fetch land from my opponent. What I should have done was killed just the 1/1 Grist token, because they floated the mana and then chorded and then went off. So just thinking about your targets and what you're trying to stop, it was just a brain lapse, really. So yeah, always be cognizant that they can Chord for Soulless Jailer to stop your Cascade. Going forward, I think there's the Surveil lands from the new set. I think might try and fit one of those in. Don't know how it fits in just yet, whether it's at the expense of like a basic mountain, or the Ketria Triome gets the cut. It'll be a island for sure because of Lorien revealed, but I'm not sure. Yeah, not sure yet how I'll build that in going forward. I think I may want to go up. I might want to change the mana base up a little bit. I think maybe 2 Steam Vents, maybe go down on those. I might want an extra Mutavault to really power up these Flame of Anors, or maybe a Gemstone Caverns in the main and a Boseiju in the side, something like that. I'd really like a card for the Mirror, something that would be really good. I'm not sure what that is. I'd like to try out Urtai's Scorn, which is the 2 mana counter spell if an opponent's paid more than I think it's more than 1 spell if they're on their second or more. So that would be good in the Mirror, just a counter spell for Footfalls. I think the rest of it was fine. I like the 3 Force of Vigor. I like the 3 Endurance. I could see going up maybe 1 Magus or something in the side. But other than that, the list felt really good. Maybe down 1 Dagon, up 1 Dismember, so 2 Dismembers in the main. But yeah, going forward, I think I'm going to be experimenting with a few different bits and pieces. The next season for the regional championships is standard, which is not something I've really played before, but I think I will attend some qualifiers for that, so people please do let me know if you got any standard tips, and as well let me know if standard is something you'd like to see me play on the channel. I am going to be playing some. I played a couple of leagues with Domain over the past couple of days, so do let me know if that's something. I'm not planning on uploading that to YouTube really, but do let me know if you'd like to see some standard content as well. But yeah, I hope that little ramble was somewhat useful. Do let me know if you got any questions or what have you. And yeah, I'll see you again next week playing some more Rhinos. Cheers.